What Rossum is suggesting is one unified system for invoice automation journey. So the way we're thinking about it is that we are accommodating and putting together the platform that can receive invoices from all of these different channels, whether it's sent by email, whether you're receiving it through other platforms, or whether it's an electronic invoice that actually sent either through the government portal, through PEPL, or the same way as an attachment to the email from some of the country. What I have prepared is already email with a couple of different samples that I will send to Rossum environment. And if you open one of those files, you'll see it's quite difficult to read. And of course, me as an AP person, most probably I would really struggle to make sure that all this data sent in this XML is correct. So what Rossum is suggesting, and I'm switching over to the platform, is being able to not only extract this information, but being able to automate receiving of all of these different invoices in different structures from different country requirements. So as you can see here, all these invoices went to the same queue, and there is no difference to the process, whether it's electronic invoice or whether it's a standard PDF. You can see that Rossum captured all of these data, regardless of the format and the structure. It's already automatically mapped and very smooth process of how you're receiving into the environment. And of course, if you'd like to separate, Rossum still will give you a possibility to filter out electronic invoices from the rest of your documents, which will definitely help with the reporting. So let's open some of them and just look at what it is and deep dive and resolve these exceptions that we've seen. Actually, from the first document that I open, this is an example of electronic invoice where you have mix of PDF and XML, right? Let's look at a different example. So it's interesting. On the left side, you see all of the fields already pre-populated. And as they are being pre-populated, right, that means that everything is already mapped and you as a business don't need to take care of it. So you don't need to do any IT project, which is separate to that. You don't need to onboard each country individually. So Rossum already has it as part of the platform. And as you go through, you can see the data like document ID, issue date. So anything that will be sent together with the invoice is already visible here to the AP person. But if you remember, we had that example, which was purely XML structure. It would be really, really hard to know, is this document ID correct? Can I actually visually see that? And what you see on the right side is Rossum creating a PDF out of your XML. So we're actually transforming this information into the PDF and making it more visual for you, for your AP team, whenever you need to review the exceptions or validate the extracted information. And of course, for the audit purposes, you will be able to take this PDF and then store and archive it in your downstream system. So we looked at how the data can be captured. And as we can go to a different document, or we can see through the examples we have, all of these different formats, the data is mapped and is there. But that's just the first step. Rossum is already automatically validating these vendor details towards your master data, like getting your vendor ERP code. It's also getting additional vendor details like IBAN. And this IBAN can be validated towards the IBAN that was sent with this invoice. And actually, as you can see, I removed one of them. The moment they don't match to your contracted vendor details, Rossum will automatically flag this for you as exception. But the next example for the IP validation could be payment terms. We have payment terms that we have received from this invoice. And we can see that these payment terms actually suggest that there's some discount if you pay this invoice earlier. So on top of getting this information, Rossum can already intuitively and intelligently calculate for you what would be the due date for this invoice if you were to pay it earlier. But more interestingly, it will calculate the amount that you can save if you were to pay this invoice earlier. And what can be an invoice processing without actually invoice coding? So it means assigning the right GL codes, the right cost centers, the right tax codes to this invoice. Rossum can automatically suggest you what would be the appropriate tax code, what would be appropriate cost center and GL code on the line item level that needs to be associated with this invoice. This is also done automatically and actually verified towards your chart of accounts or towards your master data or information in the ERP system. So, and as all invoices will be processed and submitted for approval and goes through all the AP process, it then will go down, exported to the downstream system. And this invoice actually was automated. So of course, anything that doesn't need any exception resolution will be automated. And we can send it to your downstream system in various formats.